What's going on, everyone? Dave Mormon here, founder and CEO at Home Service Business Coach. Usually you see me in a nice polished studio, but we want to do something kind of different today. Want to kind of hit pause. We're going to do a little bit of some behind the scene footage, a little bit of like the day behind the scenes, a day in the life of kind of how Dave Mormon's life operates. I think I do a pretty good job kind of keeping business over here and personal over here. Want to kind of do something different on the video today and show you some personal stuff. So I'm gonna show you kind of around the house, where I work. I'm gonna show you kind of my work setup. We're gonna kind of see some stuff, how I stay organized. We're actually gonna take you along to a workout today too, which would be super cool. You get to see me sweating with my trainer, which should be good, and kind of see some of the inner workings of my personal life. So also, kind of spoiler alert, if you're watching right now, I have this beautiful, beautiful labor of love right here. This is my book, Get Off the Truck. And so this has recently come out. Depending when you're seeing this right now, we'll link down below in the description where you can jump on and get a copy of my book while it's still on promo. If you own a home service business, you want to grow, even a small business if you're on the channel, there's going to be some really good stuff here in this book. It took me like 3 years to write. So that should speak to the quality and how proud I am of it. So we're going to kind of show you around a little bit going on today. And, I hope that you enjoy the tour. So one of the cool things of owning my business, you get cool stuff in the mail. I got an affiliate launch kit from my friends here at Ninja VA. So I'll show you what's going on inside here. So we got, first off, the owner there, Brandon, is just a stud. Sends like a handwritten note to me, which is fantastic. Got a new Yeti mug with the Ninja VA logo. How sick is that for some cold drinks? Got a Ninja VA pen, which is pretty cool. And then Brandon put together this affiliate playbook, which is just like so professional. Brandon's done such a good job here. So if you're needing a VA for your business, you're gonna wanna talk to the team at Ninja VA. We are an affiliate with them, Home Service Business Coach, and even a pretty cool little decal there. So thanks to our friends at Ninja VA. We'll keep spreading the good word, and always fun getting stuff like this in the mail from Ninja VA. So thank you, Brandon. So fun fact about Dave, you won't find me without my Stanley mug here. I bought this a couple years ago, and I don't even know, like I fill this up countless times through the day. I don't know if it's like a medical condition to drink too much water, but if it is, I might have that. Let's see what's going on in the fridge here. This is what's going on. We had taco bowls, so this will be a good lunch. We got a pizza, chicken pot pie. We got some lasagna, so we're pretty well stocked today, and been crushing this actually. I'm trying to eat like more protein in my diet, so this has been pretty good. Throwing on some honey into that. So that's the other thing too. Fun fact about me, I'm off alcohol the last 2 years. So literally, you can see our favorite drink is these sparkling waters, and kind of ashamed to say, but my stock of 0% is running pretty low. But I kind of if there's a connoisseur for 0% alcohol, it would be me, because in the summer I'll have 5 or 6 different kinds of 0%. And like, to answer the question like, oh, why did you stop drinking? The more you watch this video, you're just gonna see I'm a very weird person. In a good way. Weird is good, I think. No, you don't wanna be normal in life. I stopped drinking coffee, Starbucks for 70 days. I didn't do McDonald's for 4 years, and now I'm doing no alcohol for 2 years, which just passed for about a month ago. So it's like, why aren't you drinking beer? And I've just decided to kind of go into overtime right now and still not drink any alcohol. So will I do more years? I'm not sure, but I've hit the 2-year goal, and we'll kind of see how far we keep going with it. So I like to do these like weird personal challenges, backpack through Asia for 40 days, only own one thing of shirt, like the same type of shirt. That's just kind of like how quirky and weird I am. If there's one thing I love in life more than anything, other than my family, is give me a challenge and say something's not possible. I'm going to figure out a way how to get it done. I think that just speaks to how kind of scrappy and resourceful and kind of weird I am as a person. So anyways, let's go down. I'll kind of show you. I like the main floor here. It's sweet. But I really like the basement downstairs, so I'll kind of show you what's going on. We'll take the book. I got to put that back on my shelf. Got some coffee and of course the Stanley. So come on here, and actually Charlie's. We got a 4-year-old golden retriever, as you guys have probably seen Charlie. So she might be wanting to say hi. We'll see how we do here. And she loves saying hi to Jeremy. What's up, pup? Hey. Oh, she's not going too crazy. Pup, say hi. What's up, pup? Oh, she wants to get on camera. Oh, Charlie. Okay, easy on the lens there. Let's jump into here. Okay, Char. Funny story with this. Watch your step here. Okay, so I'll put this down. It's okay, Char. So, funny story with this room. Growing up, my mom for over a decade would always tell me this key line. Like, I love my mom. She told me this line. She always said, David, the house is not a gym. We lived in a 2-story house, and I was always chucking balls and breaking windows. And so from the time I was like a teenager, I always said, when I get the chance to get my own place, I want to freaking deck the thing out with a gym where you could literally throw any ball or do anything. So this is the gym down here, and as much as it's for our 2-year-old Beckham, it's also for like 36-year-old Dave, because I get to just like rip balls around and kind of have fun in here. So the day always starts in inside here. We give old Beckham's little kind of stuffies here. We give them all some food. I always like to try and sink some basketball shots. So all right, so we will go in the office as soon as one of these gets sunk into the pit. So what we do actually, we sit all these dogs down and we feed them all. This is kind of every single morning at like 7:30. We feed old Beckham's dogs various food. He loves to kind of whip up meals, and then we work on our basketball shots. So after a year, you get pretty good at. Oh, that's a little short. That's almost in. We might be here for a while, Jer. All right, we're good. Took 4. That not too bad actually. All right, let's head into the office here. This is kind of a fun spot to hang out in the morning, kind of between coaching calls. But we'll show you where the magic happens inside the office here. All right, we'll show you where the magic happens inside the office. Come on in. In full transparency, I did do a little bit of a cleanup here yesterday because I knew we were going to be doing a bit of filming. So usually actually the desk is like slightly messier than it is right now. But I'm going to put my book right back up here. And kind of why I like to position it by the E-Myth here was this was really like the key concept in 2016, about 10 years ago now, that turned me on to making systems in my business. And what does it mean to work on my business, not in my business? So I read this book like so many times, and I told myself, when I write my book one day, I'm going to write it on the back of like Michael Gerber's book, Work on the Business, but actually tailor it exactly to like a home service business. So that's what I did in my book here. So I just think it's kind of cool on coaching calls that I have them both inside the frame, usually on the computer here. So I'll jump in and show you my workflow in a second. This is kind of cool on the wall here. The far side, I'll show you. Actually, we can get a better look. This was the first picture Alex and I ever had together. That was in April of 2016. So that's kind of cool. We've like basically been together now for 10 years, which is amazing. This was at our wedding. We got married in September, quizzing me here, September 7, 2018 with my parents there. Totally amazing day. And then this one's super cool. This was Beckham when he was born. This was Katrina, who you've seen on the channel, my service manager. We basically brought Beckham into the Revive office and we stamped his hand and his feet. And Katrina said, like, man, your son has a massive hand and foot. You can see it's almost busting off the clay piece there. But that's kind of a cool piece that Katrina put together too. So those are kind of my kind of 3 personal pieces in here that I love to look at. Obviously, elephant in the room. What are all these books behind me, right? And I kind of had this weird thing that I couldn't stand a book up vertically on my shelf until I like actually had the book read before. And so at a certain time, I had a bunch like laying horizontally. You can see actually all these ones back here all laying on their side. I have yet to get to them and read them, but all the ones that are vertical up right now, I've been able to read through at least once, which has kind of been cool. And, you know, I kind of see books as like talking to a friend. I think you can learn at least one key concept in a book. A lot of them though have similar themes of like entrepreneurship and marketing and personal development and sales and leadership. Those are kind of my key principles that I love to jam on. And I think a lot of those books I read are kind of woven concepts through my own book. And I think like these books just really developed me into who I am today. Like there's literally books here on, you know, Think and Grow Rich is finances, Richest Man in Babylon is finances. Those are obviously big pieces of my life, but there's also other cool ones like, you know, 4 Hour Workweek is a really good one. I love this one too. If you like the appendix in my books all around why I chose clean water to donate, you know, 3% of our revenue at Revive. And this is Scott Harrison started Charity Water. He's a big mentor of mine. And this whole book is about how he started his nonprofit. This is just like a fantastic read. Those of you married 1 and 2, like additionally to the Bible, male, female brain. My wife and I, you know, went through these books kind of like, I think Alex looked through it. I really read them because there's such key concepts. And when you get married, the female brain versus the male brain, completely different wirings. And so I think it's just super cool, the science behind how different men and women are, and kind of these books speak to those concepts. I think there's actually some really good stuff in here for marriages and relationships as well. So I won't go through every book, but there's definitely a lot of wisdom in here. And, you know, I'm super proud that I've been able to read them all. And probably a more key concept I've learned the last couple years is not to just like read a book for the sake of reading it, which I feel like, you know, years ago I was just like, oh, I've read like 50 books this year, a book a week. Like it's exciting. But I think my coaching would be read fewer books and like read them more in depth, like go through them multiple times and actually take those concepts and like plug them into your business is one thing I would say. So I'll show you the workflow in a sec. What's going on here? Oh, this is cool. I got a special shirt for going on like a virtual podcast tour. So all of my friends and buddies with podcasts in the home service space, I'm gonna be going on their podcast in the next 6 months or so. So I got like a cool shirt to wear to kind of rep some swag for the book. In addition to my main black shirt, I just got like HSBC swag right here, which I'll be sporting to, you know, be more professional on coaching calls or speaking things. And then this is cool too. You know, I swear Jobber's sending me like swag all the time, which is sick. So we're doing like some giveaways with the book. So we got some shirts and there's some hats upstairs too. Let's see what else. Oh, this is kind of a cool thing. When our clients at Home Service Business Coach hit $1 million in their business, we get them a custom made shirt right there, which is like, you know, $1 million CEO, which I think is pretty sweet. So we'll get to dish some of those out at our in-person summit, which is coming up really quickly. And then I just got like tons of these, bought a couple different sizes, but we're going to be like shipping out hard copy books to like our VIP list. So we are going to have, our team's going to have our work cut out, putting a book inside all these and tossing them in the mail. So there's a whole bunch of bad boys right there. Okay. So a couple things on my screen here. I've literally had this tab open since August, which was literally my manuscript for my book, and just like so many copies. I think this thing is 102 pages. You know, word count is a lot, 34,700 words of goodness. So when I would make, when my editor would have changes in my book, I would get them reflected on the manuscript. And so it's really exciting. Actually, the book's going to be live pretty quickly. So we're going to be launching that. So I'm going to be closing that tab pretty soon. And then the other cool tabs here is, I call this other tab just like my post bank, which is I create a lot of written content on our social channels. It's not necessarily me hitting post every time, but the concepts and the theories come out of my brain. I put them all in this Google Doc that my team's able to pull from that and create different posts on social media. And then the last thing, which is exciting for you, the viewer, I'm calling this professionalize the podcast. Obviously it's been a very successful podcast. It's been exciting, helped a lot of people. But the thing is, with this one, I want to move it up to the next level. And so we're going to be professionalizing the podcast this next year. I've got a Dream 100 list. I'm going to be, it's kind of confidential, so I won't click it. But we're going to be interviewing some really high profile, awesome guests that you're going to get a lot of value from. We're going to be professionalizing the podcast over the next year. We found actually our best coaching clients here at Home Service Business Coach, they're all tied to the podcast. Not all, but majority. And so it's my goal. We're going to move the podcast up, the professionalism, bring some cool guests on, and keep bringing you even more value. So if you're watching this far, appreciate you. And thanks so much for supporting us in the mission. All right, let's see what else we got. I'll pull up here my Slack right here. So, I'm personally not coaching a lot of members other than the handful listed through here. So thankfully we've got awesome coaches with Coach Jackson, AJ, Chemo at Home Service Business Coach doing a lot of the one-to-one coaching. But these are my guys here in Mastery that I'm directly working with. We've got our marketing team right here. So this would be my marketing coordinator is Bree. We've got all of our VA team. So we have someone running our YouTube, our podcast, our graphic designer. So all of our VAs, Marcus here, he is my media buyer. So he's running all of our ads right now that you see online. And then sales team, a very lean team is Landon and Vincent run our sales team at Home Service Business Coach. So people coming into our funnel, can I learn about coaching? How much is this program, etc. They're going to talk to Vince. They're going to talk to Landon. And then fulfillment is the group of me and my coaches, which is like, here's a kind of a cool thing. When you develop your people, my main coaches, Trey, AJ, Chemo, Jackson, they all came as successful clients working with me 4 or 5 years ago, help them scale up their business, get off the truck, build a real asset. And, they were paying me years ago. Now I'm paying them to be coaches and coach the next people coming up in the company. So it's just super cool leadership concept to always be duplicating, replicating yourself, almost cloning yourself is kind of how I look at it. I am a very steady person, as I've said, but I'm very good at delegating and getting other people to come in and help build something awesome. And my client told me this morning, years ago, I told him a quote. I said, he or she who builds the best team wins the game of business. And I truly believe that. You can only take your business so far as a owner operator, but I really believe in getting a team and growing it. So that's Slack. I don't do tons of Slack. I'll do a quick check in the morning. But most of this is like in the afternoon where I'll actually be diving into messages a little bit more. Let's show a couple other things here. Let's see what's going on the schedule. This is always good to see. I don't know if anything's confidential here, if we need to blur out, but I think we're good. So really nice day today, Jer. We're doing some filming. We're gonna go to the gym, train with my trainer Mike. You can see literally every day at 4 is a walk with Beckham and Charlie. Tomorrow I'm visiting my accountant. I'm visiting the new owner at Revive, and book's gonna be coming out, so we're gonna be doing some fun stuff with that. So a couple other tools to show you. I splurged and bought these like Apple headphones this year, which was crazy. They're like $1,000, and I thought I'd never spend $1,000 on headphones. But when you have a 2-year-old busy guy running around in the ball pit, like I showed you, these are actually like pretty sweet to have. But it is pretty awesome seeing Beckham come and visit me. A couple other things to show you on my screen. We run 2 coaching programs here. The first one's our accelerator. So this is really for kind of smaller companies that are growing and don't yet have the budget for one-to-one coaching. So we basically, got an awesome community board here where, Matthew's asking about P4P, Jason's hitting a win, Peter's looking for resources. We're all posting our revenue goals. So this is just like a fun place for me to interact directly with our community and also We'll run coaching calls here every single week, which is awesome. But our other program right here is our Scaling Blueprint. And this is really like for the really ambitious home service business owners. Like they have their sights set on growing like 50 to 100K. And this is where like they really want that one-to-one hand holding from their coach. And they're also like have $10,000 to invest in our year-long mastermind. They come out to Vancouver to see us in person. So that's how we kind of tier it out. It's kind of like a sports team where, the accelerator is kind of like this junior development, say soccer team. And then like the big leagues getting into the majors is the Scaling Blueprint right here. So I always spend the first part of my day interacting in both communities while I'm not directly coaching one-to-one all of our clients. I still am able to check in, provide value, run group calls, and also coach my coaches as well at Home Service Business Coach. So it's something that if you look at, this is marketing right now, right? We're making content, or sales is Landon and Vincent. The fulfillment for me is one I love overseeing is the actual coaching and getting clients results. And I think taking my brain and downloading it through our coaches and clients is literally showing like our reputation. If you go on ChatGPT or Grok or Google and put who's the best business coach for growing my pressure washing business, Home Service Business Coach and Dave Mormon, we're going to be in that conversation, which is so exciting. And I think that's only because I've always led with fulfillment being, well, don't just sell people random information. Let's actually get them results here. And it's really like clients are winning in both programs, but really the ones that invest in like getting that one-to-one support, those are the ones that tend to grow a bit quicker. So it's actually our favorite when we have people start with Accelerator, they get to 10, 20K months, and then they message us and say, all right, Scaling Blueprint time, let's go. I want to get one-to-one coaching. So it's kind of a cool progression to see clients move along through our pipeline, because we're not a coaching business that's going to say, we'll add 100 grand to your business or you don't pay or we work. Like, I don't like any of those BS marketing tactics. It's just growing a business takes time. It took me 8 years to build something awesome. And if we can help our clients do it in 4 or 5, fantastic. But it's not going to happen in a month or two. So we're just not that type of company. There's other companies for you if that's what you're into. All right, let's show you one more thing here that I'm really proud of. I'll literally just pull this up. I haven't been on here for a little bit. This is where our podcast is hosted, literally going into stats. Yeah, like this is just the power of impact here, right? We're going to be at 1 million downloads probably by next year at some point. And like already today, 270 people have listened, and like 19,000 in the last month. Just people listening all over the world to the podcast, which is just like so cool. Starting up a really simple business really. And at time of making this, we're at like 260 something episodes, I want to say. 266, look at that. 87 reviews on Spotify. If you've left a review there, thank you so much. Had Mike Andes on last week, which was sick. So the pod's already like crushing. I just think we can, like typical entrepreneurial ADD mind, I just think we can make it better. We can make it so much better. And so I don't want to just sit back and coast. I want to get this podcast out, get my book out to the masses, and really bring people value. So they're like, dude, if this is the free stuff or the book is very affordable, I can only imagine what is on the actual paid coaching program side. That's kind of how I'm trying to build the whole business. So I see a huge opportunity for this, not just in vanity, like number of downloads is exciting, but it's really more how many lives can we actually change with the content we do put out. And it's like the best compliment, like literally, I have my phone here. Literally today, maybe we'll edit this in, like one of my clients, Matt right here.
What's up, Mormon?
Like he sends me this video.
Hey man, your podcast keeps coming up on my YouTube. And so I've been thinking about you. Hey, I've been invited to speak at a training conference in January. I'm going to be talking about business and leadership development. I'm going to be sharing my story, my journey over the last 5 years, how I've taken my business from low 6 figures, 200,000 to 7 figures. We'll hit low 7 figures, 1.1, 1.2 this year. And that has, been over the last 5 years. And the whole kind of the foundation of the talk is going to be about, my story is about the paradigm shift that I had when you told me, he who builds the best team wins. And when I realized that my role as a business leader, as a business owner, CEO, general manager, I'm not in the sprinkler business. I'm in the people development business, the team building business. And once I understood and accepted that paradigm shift of that my job, my role is to develop and train people, that was the game changer. And it all came back, to you saying that. And I just wanted to share that with you. And I still reflect on that. And I still live that today. And just the impact that it made on my business and, my life. Just holy cow. Just the... Anyway, so I just thought I would share that just to try to encourage you today and your impact that you have on developing future business leaders and stuff. So just, man, hope you're doing well, and always like watching your podcasts, and keep it up, brother. Talk to you later, man. Bye.
It's powerful stuff, eh? Matt is a beauty. He's actually one of the first 5 clients that I ever coached. He's got an irrigation business, and like he said, he came to me at about 200 grand, and we worked together. And I'm not going to take credit for his success, but it's so cool playing a small part in someone's journey that he's now getting asked to speak at this convention and share his story. And worked with Matt like 4 or 5 years ago, and literally he just messaged me that on iMessage this morning. So I just thought that is like the overall power of what we're doing. Like, yes, making money from coaching is great, but it's really like, if you just chase money in business, you're gonna screw up so fast. You need to chase the mission, which our mission is transforming thousands of lives, from technicians to creating CEOs, creating business owners, entrepreneurs. And Matt is a testament to that. He's clearing $1 million now. He has a team. He has time freedom in his life, is just so cool. So getting messages like that, or Google reviews, or things on the podcast, if you've done that to us before, thank you so much, because that is the fuel. That's the wind in the sails of our whole team that keeps us going. Because people look at coach and they're like, oh, you must have everything all together. It's like, no, you still have tough times. Like today I was up at like 5 a.m, just up early, got kind of a sore throat today. Energy's not really there. My coffee machine wasn't working. I couldn't make Jeremy here a coffee. Things just happen in life, and it just because you're a coaching role doesn't mean you always have stuff figured out. That's why I want to kind of show you here behind the scenes. Like, the house is kind of messy. Charlie's barking, things are going on, but like, that's just life. And so I really think it's a key thing in business. You just need to keep going. And to Matt's case, like, he's 5 years in now, after working with us. It just takes time to build something awesome. So anyways, appreciate the love on the pod, and hopefully you kind of like the scenes, kind of behind the scenes today. We're gonna probably head to the gym probably pretty quick, and you can see me get my sweat on with my trainer. All right, y'all, it's fitness time. So there's let's jump into the fancy whip here. You can see how often I drive this thing. Not very often, but we're gonna go on a drive today. Come on in. She's starting. So there's a lesson in making good money, running a good business, but also driving like a 2016 Mazda CX-5. I'm gonna be honest, my wife has the nice car in the family. My wife drives the Tesla. I drive the Mazda CX-5. I don't even know what this car's worth, but I don't drive a whole lot, honestly, and I usually take my wife's car when I do. But she's out right now with Beckham, so we're heading to the gym in the 2016 CX-5, which isn't a bad car at all. But I personally love driving the Tesla when you punch the gas, and it kind of has that oomph, is lots of fun. But literally my gym is, I don't even know, maybe a kilometer away at tops for you Americans. It's, I think, 0.6 of a mile, so it's really not that much. But what I've done is I've tried to really optimize my whole life around time efficiency, and a lot of stuff I can do is at our home. But rather than having like a home gym per se, which maybe one day. I'm experimenting right now with personal training at this gym, which we'll show you. You can meet my trainer, Mike. And literally the day I finished my book writing a couple weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, when it was done, like completely done, I was like, the only thing left to do in life for me, I felt, was like, because I'm a really goal-oriented person. I'm like, why have I never taken my health that serious, right? I'll hire business coaches, or I will, I want to go on a trip, I'll go on a trip, or start a business, I'll do that. Write a book, wrote the book. Why have I always dabbled with health but never taken it that seriously? So I told my trainer, Mike, I said, Mike, put me on the 40-year health plan. So not try to get shredded in 2 months or 3 months. I want to get healthy when I'm 76 years old. So anyways, we're doing personal training right now twice a week. I come to this gym and I get my butt absolutely whooped. But I wouldn't call it a fun time. But at this point, like I said earlier in the video, I'm kind of a weird, testing different hacks and theories. I'm testing how it goes with a personal trainer, and I think we've done like 5 or 6 sessions now, so gonna be a good time. But literally we'll be pulling in here in like 30 seconds, and this whole area where I live out in South Surrey, there's such cool amenities here. It's not cheap to live here, but I do think you kind of get what you pay for. You got cool smoothie shops, coffee shops, you got cool gyms, there's our Thai food place right there. So it's kind of a cool place to live. I have another weird thing. I rarely take like the best parking spot. I don't know why that is, Jeremy, but we'll go right here. It's not the best spot, but it's a weird, like, I don't know, psychological thing. Maybe walking a little bit more or something. But how are we looking for time here? We've got 15 minutes until the session, so that's a perfect time to check Slack right now, see if we're missing out on anything. Quick check of the email. It's kind of exciting. I've been like obsessively checking my email today because depending when this comes out, today is the day. Like yesterday, we actually officially submitted, my book coach submitted my book to Amazon, and it says it takes 24 to 72 hours to actually be live on the platform. So right now I'll show you, it's kind of funny. I'm on my Amazon account. So I got my own Amazon account too. I'd always use my wife's, but for the book launch, it was like, oh, you should probably get your own. So it's kind of funny. When I search here, I don't know if you can see this. When I search on Amazon, get off the truck with Dave Mormon, it's literally like a kids Tonka truck thingy coming up for, wow, $457 for a kid's toy. That's insane. But anyways, I've been told, Amazon's told me, my book coach told me when the book's actually live, I'll be able to search Get Off the Truck Dave Mormon and it will come out on Amazon. Hopefully when you're watching this, it'll already be a live link. I'm pretty sure it will and you can grab it. But anyways, I'm probably checking email a little more than usual today because I'm going to get an email that says, you got approved, you're good to go. And 24 hours will be this afternoon. So I don't know if it's one of those things that they just tell you 3 days and then it's like, oh, surprise, it's early, or what it's going to be. But anyways, it might be later today, which will be pretty sick. But let's go for a walk. We'll go see Mike. We'll get trained. And then we're probably going to, you already had a smoothie today, right, Jeremy? I don't know what we're going to get. We're going to get something fun. Maybe Landon will come by too. I don't know. I told him we're doing some filming, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, we'll go walk in and see what's going on. Maybe we'll get started early. I don't know. We'll see. So let's turn off the business brain a little bit, and we're gonna dial in the health for the next 50 minutes. So should be good. Let's rock and roll. Gonna need some water today, I'll tell you that. We don't need the business card to work out. We'll keep that in here. Hopefully the car doesn't get robbed while we're working out. But let's see what else I got in my pocket. Are you even a dog owner unless you have poo bags with you? Sweet. All right, now we're ready to go. How did I meet Mike?
Man, so Dave has actually known me since I was like a teenager. I was probably like 17, probably. I just finished high school. I was a barista at Starbucks for, man, probably like 2 years. And this guy, everyday tall pike with room.
That's it.
That's what we called him back in the day. And then throughout a couple of years of getting to know Dave, I picked up a couple odd summer jobs, and one of them being actually for his company as a painter. And that was awesome. It was such a fun couple of summers, and then moved on to my passion, which is training. And then, throughout the years, Dave and I kept in contact, and then he told me he's ready to just elevate his game and take it from, best to greatest of all time.
Because I want to get these.
He's about to become the GOAT, man.
Tell them when the day I met Alex. You remember?
Oh yeah, it's nuts. I remember, like
you were gutted.
We just knew that, like, I worked with like only chicks and only girls at Starbucks, and everyone just loved Dave, and we just had a crush on Dave. He's such a charming fella, and one day him and I always chat a little bit here and there when he comes in. And he told me one day that he met a girl, and that he was really stoked about it. And this was the first time I ever heard Dave talk about a girl in my entire life of knowing him, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. And then obviously I had to break the news to the Starbucks girls, and we almost shut down for the day. It was like a day of grieving, yeah. So but yeah, no, and then from there on in, I probably was like, it had to have been like 17 or 18 years old when he told me about it. And then, they just...
10 years later.
10 years later now, they're just...
So crazy.
Yeah, it's insane to think now he's got a kid, and,
that's
the
crazy.
business is sold and everything. Dave's been killing it.
So yeah, that was leg day. Probably fun to see me break a sweat. Here's the thing, that was only my second leg workout I did with Mike, and truthfully, probably like a lot of guys working out, you just like want to do biceps and shoulders so you look big. But my legs, your legs are your biggest muscles, I've learned, and I've just like not really worked them out in like 15 years. So while that workout wasn't like crazy heavy weights, the movements when you're doing exercise after next one, you just get absolutely worked. So it'll probably be fun filming me in 2 minutes getting up after this little speech. But kind of my whole mindset now in life is around optimizing for health. And I think you can have success in business, and you see some business folk, like they go all in on their business and kind of neglect their health. That was probably me to some degree. Not that I was ever like crazy unhealthy, but it's just like never really a priority. And now I'm 36 and a half. I've got a family to provide for, and my job, as it lends itself, I've been off the truck now in my company, so I'm not necessarily working out in the day-to-day. So it's really good to have this scheduled in, and it's 50 minutes. You can see Mike, he pushes me really hard, nice and sweaty now, and ready to get on with the rest of the day. So having this kind of my life, this block schedule, like I showed you my calendar, it's all optimized around efficiency, and kind of this 50-minute block is in my day twice a week. I know it's coming, and truthfully, there's a leg day today is the hardest for me because it's been neglected. Next is a push day, so I like that. We're like bench pressing and chest, and that's like, when I did work out over the last decade, those would be the workouts I do. And then the third day is a pull day. So, and my back is kind of weak too. But so this is the hardest workout for sure, and kind of fun one to capture me sweating out on camera. So my advice would be, if you're, growing your home service business, I'm not here to coach you on health or what to do, but I would just say there's a certain point in life you lift your head up and you think, man, if I build healthy, sustainable patterns in my life, what will be the benefit for the years to come? And I'm really putting my entire life now that Revive has been sold under a microscope, and I'm saying this compound effect. What are the inputs I can put in regularly that if we just cruise it for 40 years, what will happen? And so I'm getting into more investing now, seriously, like financially. I'm investing into time with my family and my kiddo. I'm investing into my health, investing into my knowledge. These are all things that I believe over decades will compound and pay dividends. And so I'm not after this beach body in 3 months. Like I said, I want something long-term and sustainable. So my advice is, if you're running a business, just look for those small pockets that you could have a workout in your day. For me at this point, it's not going to be coming here every single day, but it's 2 times a week. Get a handle on some strength training, invest some money with a trainer. So I show up here, not just show up, I'd probably come, on my own if I was taking it serious, but having someone push you. I wouldn't have done all those reps that you just saw if I didn't have Mike, pushing through, and also knowing that my whole audience is watching me work out too, which is kind of fun. So anyways, we earned it. What do I do after workout? There's a coffee shop here close by. I'll show you. I go in there and get a smoothie every time as kind of a reward. An overpriced smoothie, but you get what you pay for, and it's really good. So that's where we're gonna head next. Got up at least. That's a win. All right, let's get a smoothie.
Go.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. See ya.
See you later, guys.
Yeah. There he is. Buddy. Let's go.
All right, so we got Dave here, obviously. Finished up a big leg workout, getting
Well deserved.
yeah, getting the
Landon
smoothie in.
hasn't had one of these before.
They're really good. Some pistachio or something. So obviously you guys know about the big news. We just heard about some other big news. We'll keep that on the DL though. But no, we're excited about the book, and we're excited for really what this can bring, because as Dave and I continuously talk about, we go through follow-ups, and there's individuals that, and maybe you got to text me even today, 2, 3, 4 years even sometimes, and it's just like, what is the catalyst? And we're hoping that like maybe this book will be like, hey, here's the value, because I'll talk to you guys, 80% of you, and same situation, same pain points, same problems. I mean, Dave, you got a testimony from a gentleman today.
That was crazy. I showed the video.
You did?
From
Okay.
Matt. Yeah.
Okay. So
Unreal.
just like 200K to over $1 million, 5 years, life change. And that's literally what we're all about here at HSBC, is doing our damnedest to help the small home service owner really take control of their lives. And it's exciting to see. And for us over the last, I want to say 18 months, I mean, we've made some huge pivots, obviously, inside the program with playbooks and new content and upgrades. And we got service plans rolling in pretty soon as well, too. So we're pretty pumped and pretty excited for what the next 12 to 24 months is going to be. And Dave, maybe let's chat a little bit about this too, because AI is the buzz. Really? I know. AI is the buzz.
AI is the buzz.
The buzz always.
But so is what we're trying to do from a big picture strategy is we're trying to make our marketing here so good that our sales department that Landon's running kind of like isn't this crazy push needed in the sales department. So if someone now can come in, read through my book that I've been working on for 3 years, immerse themselves in that and the podcast, that they'll know that they'll need our product, and it's not going to take really a whole bunch of convincing from our sales team. So big picture, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah. And also that the trust economy, right? I think for us coaching 2020 and 2021 to 2020 and 2023, I would say kind of the golden era here. And we really want to build something robust. And the reason why I say that is we just saw ChatGPT release agents now, crazy, which is nuts. But how many businesses now within 1 day are gone? And we're going to, again, continue to see that in art, in the coaching space, but just making a product so good that I guess what Hermosi would say, it feels stupid saying no to. So again, that's the big goal. We're excited. We got a lot of things to accomplish. But
it's also like the job as the owner, I think, of any business is to actually future-proof your company. And I think Landon and I's chats is all centered around future, what's happening with AI, how that affects not just Home Service Business Coach, but our guys' businesses as well. Because if you own a home service business and you're not plugging into AI right now, I honestly think you're going to be fine for a year, 2 years, maybe 3. But at a certain point, you're going to get steamrolled. So we're trying to get our members on the more cutting edge of this so that they can be well positioned to continue stomping through their competition. So
Yeah.
We love it too. We love just
Chatting.
talking shop.
Yeah. Because with the advent of AI, and again, something again, I've talked about this too many times now, is that it learns on its own. So it's always self-improving at 1,000 times superhuman speed. The implications are massive. I mean, you can go buy a car now and not even talk to a person. $100,000 vehicle, the person will hand you the keys. Insane. And this 5 years ago, if you told me in 2019 I could go buy a car online without talking to a person, without test driving it, anything, because I can almost put on a VR headset and experience everything myself, and I don't even leave my home. It's insane what's going on. And just as, heated seats in cars kind of, you had the top tier, the Rolls Royce, you could only get a heated seat in that, or you pay extra. Now every single car has them. AI is going to happen. Every business is going to have to adopt AI at a much faster rate. And we're getting in the home services, especially as well too, private equity coming in. We've talked about this stuff before. We're kind of in these prime time, 5 to 10 years of get your shit together, get your act together, build that great team, put these
Preach it.
systems into place.
I have something funny to tell you.
Yeah, please.
I was just telling the camera when we drove over about my 2016 Mazda, and I was saying, regardless if your business makes money, there's a principle in like driving like a pre-owned car.
Oh yeah.
And I was just laughing that Friday I'm gonna go rent a nice fancy car for the weekend, and we're gonna go. I don't think we'll have Jeremy, but we're gonna go for a little rip.
Yeah, hit downtown, man.
Yeah, we'll see. I was thinking like White Rock Beach or something.
Oh yeah.
Do our next business meeting in a
tunes?
Oh yeah. Do our next business meeting in a bit of a fancier car. So.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll have any footage of that, but
yeah, we'll see. But
it's going to be a little rental to see for 3 days if I like the car. So
yeah,
we'll see.
100%. There's nothing wrong with that, right?
Big car guy here.
Yeah. Well, again, with car prices as well too, it's insane. I just saw a car sell for 70 million, I think.
What? A car?
300 SL Mercedes, like
Wow.
1950s or something. I got
Oh,
people on here
that's
who know better, like 101 type of stuff is 70 million.
That's
100 million for cars. So yeah, no, it's exciting. But again, the world's getting expensive. That's your responsibility to do everything you possibly can to really build the business that you can. And maybe you got into business because you thought you could do it better than your boss, or you maybe did this in college, or maybe you're like in high school and you're like, you saw this online. Again, we're seeing so many different businesses pop up. And it's exciting. And again, competition is the word that we always hear on the phone. But, competition, again, right on the follow-ups. 3 years, average kind of life cycle, window exterior cleaning company. And then next thing you know, I'm not in business. I've switched businesses. I've sold for, probably 20 grand, whatever it is, right? And it all sounds super cool to sell your business, but for 20 grand, like, then what would happen if you had systems and processes and an actual team in place? And I guess what our guy said, what did you tell him? It was the paradigm shift.
I said he or she, in his case, he who builds the best team wins the game. I told Matt that, I don't even know, 4 or 5 years ago, and like that just stuck with him, and messaged me today that powerful video that I showed you guys. So it's we're not here to help everybody, but I think the right people see the content that we put out, and they see the kind of guys that we are, and they want to get around us. And some of them even will fly out in January to hang out with us at the summit, which would be like super cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So it's exciting stuff all around. Buddy, you want to finish that?
No, you finish her up.
Well,
we're bringing
you just had a workout here.
Little relationship hack. Always bring your wife a nice smoothie home. So that's where we're heading.
Yeah, man.
Right, what else do we got today? Coming off of a pretty sensational September, I must say, at
bad.
coaching.
Not bad.
We're not sitting back on our laurels, but
no. But no, it was nice. And again, just stereotypical, again, following the cycle. Whenever you're watching this now, we're getting into, we're just starting out October here. It's going to get busy or less busy. It's going to get slow. And this is, again, really the time where if we could choose a window of opportunity to just coach everybody, it would start to be around the slowdown. Yes, cash is low, but your time is up to actually, again, work on the business, build the foundation of the house, if you will. So yeah, I mean, we're coming up to a phenomenal season to build the business, because once the spring or the January comes, everybody has their New Year's resolutions. 99% of them don't act on them and don't follow through with them. Then the next thing you know, you're in spring, you forget about building the business. You're just busy doing the work. Summer slowdown hits. Again, we've been around now for quite a few years. Obviously, Dave, decades in the space. Or collectively as a coaching staff, we have decades of experience collectively. And, you know, we've seen this. We've seen all the cycles, just like stocks. What goes up must come down. Same thing. And there's no difference in the home service space. It's always going to be cyclical. And I wouldn't allow these kind of things that happen every single year to stand in your way. Because, again, what we've seen with coaching is the owner gets in the way 99% of the time. If you live in a population size that's very small, obviously there's that. Move to maybe a bigger population size, but there's very few things outside of your control that you cannot take advantage of right now to, again, making sure that your business in 2026 and so on is one that you're proud of and a sellable asset, a cash flowing machine, and honestly just have a great business filled with great people, helping them and helping the client as well too. There we go.
Like
There's the sales pitch. There's the sales pitch.
So I'm a pretty simple guy. I live actually a pretty simple, somewhat like boring life, I would say. I asked my wife the other night, what's one word to describe me? And she said the word steady, which is just, I am almost robotic a little bit through my routines. Literally what you're looking at right now is just me. This black shirt I'm wearing, I own 27 of these shirts, so I don't have to think about what I need to wear each day. It's literally just right here. This is the coffee that I drink. This is a tall Pike Place from Starbucks with 1 sugar. That is my go-to for my coffee. And even so much, why is my book paperback, right? Why is it not hardcover? I personally find hardcover books a little bit textbooky. They kind of remind me of school and freak me out a bit. When I went backpacking through Asia, I tried to purposely take these paperback books because you can kind of fold them up a little bit. They're a little more casual. And when I'm going on a 2-3 hour flight, this is before having a kiddo, by the way, when you get time to read, I would take a paperback book with me because I just like kind of the feel of it and I like to mark it up. So that's why we didn't do hardcover on this, is just, again, back to some of my personal philosophies. Kind of another key question I've been getting the last number of months is like, why did I sell Revive? And like, do I regret it at all? Like exiting the business? Definitely, I don't have regrets of selling the business. In fact, this week I'm going in to meet the new owner who's moved into a new shop. They're outfitting, a new truck, and kind of I'm getting a tour around to see, wow, for 8 years, I grinded my butt off to start something from nothing. And now I get to go see the business that the new owner's taken over and seeing where he can take the business to. So that's very exciting for me. And truthfully, like with this kind of behind the scenes, I didn't purposely clean up the house at all. Like you're gonna see, like there's some messy stuff. I'm looking right here is Beckham's potty. We're potty training him right now. This is not a airbrush production. It's good video quality, but I'm not trying to represent and make it too like polished and stuff. So I just wanna like let you more in on the inside and kind of see how I think, how I operate, and hopefully like you can get some inspiration from this, because a number of people I've been learning from online the last few years, when they do like a day in the life, like behind the scenes, I'm like, dude, I'm way more drawn to like, show me more of like your personal side. Like I understand you're a business coach and that's good, but show me more kind of behind the scenes, the personal side. So I've had the opportunity to step more into my personal life, I'd say, and actually be like a really present dad. And I think a lot of people say, oh, family first, this and that. But at the end of the day, I think your family values show based on where your time goes, and also like the stuff that you spend your money on. But for me, 4 p.m. every day is, I don't work past 4 p.m. So like 4:05, you will not find me in the office. I'm out generally on a walk with my son and my dog. And here's like another funny thing. When Beckham was being born, a few months before, my wife wanted to buy this like almost $2,000 stroller, right? And I thought, $2,000 for a stroller, like who on earth would ever pay that? That would not be us. And we ended up buying almost a $2,000 stroller. I thought it was absolutely crazy. But here's the funny thing, you fast forward 2 years from now, Beckham and I have done a walk almost every single day. That's 700 walks. And so if you asked me you know, would you pay $3 for each walk? Is that worth it? I would say, yeah, that's definitely a good investment because we get outside, we get time together, and you know, I don't know how much stroller retains its value, but my point is to not judge things always at face value of, whoa, something costs a lot of money. That's a lot of money. I always ask, what's the return that I can get on this investment? It's you know, where I spend my money, where I invest my money is really how an entrepreneur, I think, talks. And that's one other key principle, and then we'll get to the tour, is around entrepreneurship. If you look at the opportunities I think a business can provide, you get, you know, flexible schedule once the business is set up. You get, you know, the opportunity to kind of call your own shots, which is like good or bad and also like pretty nerve-wracking. And you also have like fairly unlimited income potential. And when you look at someone working in a 9 to 5, I know, like I worked at a grocery store going up through high school into college, and my pay was fixed, right? I couldn't make more than my $14.50 per hour. And even friends I have today, you know, their salary is fixed, and that's good to a degree. But for me, I actually prefer betting on my own self and what value can I create in the world, and I'll forego a paycheck in this challenge to create some value in the world. And I think if you look at my 16 years in business, one thing I've always done well is I've been able to identify gaps in the market. I've never tried to invent a tech startup or compete with Facebook or build a brand new iPhone. I've always looked for traditionally fairly boring businesses, but ones that have good cash flow, good profitability, and ones that have like an underserviced niche. Okay, so if you look at when I started Revive, like pressure washing was kind of a thing out here, but it wasn't anything what it is now. And by developing a brand and building a team and ranking online and putting systems in place and getting on a CRM like Jobber, you know, fast forward 8 years, I was able to really build a successful company. And the same thing with Home Service Business Coach. I had people just reaching out to me organically. Hey, could I get that system you made for Revive? How are you door knocking? What is your pitch at the door? What do you charge for window cleaning? All these questions, I started just like my systematized brain, I started putting them together and saying, you know what? I actually think this could be packaged up and I could actually teach this to people. And I started Home Service Business Coach 2 weeks before the pandemic lockdown back in 2020. So that was there was definitely some luck with that everyone was stuck at home, and online coaching really took off through 2020, 2021, 2022. But still, that gap still remains today. And that's why I wrote the book, is you've got busy owner operators, probably like yourself. You can go out and book a pressure washing job or book a painting project, but you don't actually know how to run an effective business. And that's why I feel I've been put on this earth to help train that next generation of home service business owners who want to modernize their business, who want to build an asset that can run without them, who want to build really a legacy for their family. And it's my hope, like I've got clients today, they're now getting free time inside their business. They're able to spend time with their kiddos and go to their family events and do things that really matter to them. So, but the last thing I do want to say is, as a Christian entrepreneur myself, I'd actually say, you know, all the money, like a nice house, you'll see a nice car, all these other things, it's all good in life. But the verse that I always go back to and I put in my book is Mark 8:36, which says, what would it profit a man to gain the whole world, right? Gain all these things, but actually forfeit his soul. And that's something I always kind of pivot back to and think about, that all the success here on earth, it is all just temporary and it's exciting. But I think there's actually more of a bigger question of like what happens after life and eternity. And I think that's where you want to start thinking about, you know, what happens actually after this temporary life that we are all on earth. So that's the last thing I'll say, is that money comes, money goes. Problems always happen, but I think generally in business, if you can have kind of this longer term perspective, you stop like gripping onto money so tightly and being like, oh man, this person screwed me, they didn't pay my invoice, this thing didn't happen. It's like, at the end of the day, it's not a big deal. We're all passing through life anyways. And so like, don't grip your business. I always tell my clients, don't be married to the outcome, right? Like, it doesn't have to exactly happen like this. It's like, if it doesn't, you're going to learn from it and it's not a big deal.